Hey, what's going on everyone? Max Forti to bring you another fragrance. This time around, it's going to be my scent of the day. I've actually been wearing this fragrance for the past couple of months now. I discovered this fragrance and it's a house that gets no play, no talk at all in the fragcom. So I'm happy to bring this to you. So stay right there. It's coming up right now. So the fragrance we're talking about today and the house we're going to be covering, obviously you saw from the title, it's going to be the house of Eight&Bob, and the fragrance is Egypt. So let's get into the presentation. Come with me. This is available in 100 ml or 3.4, just like the one you see here, in an EDP, Eau de Parfum concentration, for 165 American dollars. I got mine from Era Perfumes, and I'm glad to share with you guys. It's an amazing website. They have an extensive amount of great niche fragrances that are hard to find. They have these cutting-edge niche fragrances that are available to you at their website. They have an array of great brands that you can choose from. And the great thing about them is I was able to get a coupon code to share with you guys, and the code is 15MF, which will grant you an additional 15% off at checkout. So let's get back into the presentation. So the box is really, really nice looking. It's this dark sand color kind of a box. You have the tag here, it says Eight&Bob Egypt. The box itself is really, really cool looking. You have this foam-like interior where the bottle sits perfectly in, as you can see here. The interior of the box, you have this foam-like structure where the bottle sits perfectly in there, so you can store it beautifully. The bottle itself is very masculine. You have this amazing squared, thick glass bottle with your your information is actually etched in glass. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it in here, but this is actually made in Spain, and you have your batch code in here as well. You have a slab of leather here with Eight&Bob Egypt brazed onto the bottle, which is really, really cool. Eight&Bob. The E and B is actually engraved here on the metal, hard metal cap at that. And the sprayer, as you can see, is really, really nice. Beautiful mist. And this has been the presentation of Eight&Bob Egypt. Let's get back into the review. Thanks for watching. So Eight&Bob is a company that, like I said, doesn't get much play. This particular fragrance here is Egypt, and it was released in 2014. And the nose behind this fragrance is Albert Fouquet. Now, aside from this fragrance here, the one that gets most play and most talk, it gets talked a little bit because it's mostly associated with JFK. So Eight&Bob Homme is the fragrance that supposedly was JFK's signature scent, or one of his signature scents. So that's the only reason why this company really gets some kind of talk. But I tell you that Egypt is no slouch, and it's definitely a fragrance to check it out because it's very unique, very exotic. Let's get into the occasion, settings, seasons, and all that good stuff that you get with Egypt. So this is definitely a more masculine scent, okay? It's definitely warm, spicy, but it's also very inviting. It's not overly done. It's one of those fragrances that, in my opinion, it's great for spring, it's great for the fall and winter, and you can even get away with this in the summertime as long as you control your sprays. If you do 1 or 2 sprays, you should be okay, especially in the summertime evening wear. This is definitely a more dressier kind of fragrance, night out, date kind of scent, or when you're really dressed up and you want to make a great first impression, this fragrance will definitely deliver it for you. A lady could definitely pull this one off, but I definitely think it's leaning more in this masculine side of the spectrum with this one. It's definitely more bold and definitely more on the masculine side of things. As far as age groups, I think it's definitely more mature, so I'd say at least 25 and up to really appreciate the nature of the scent and the composition itself. So let's talk about performance a little bit. Now, this particular fragrance was really a fragrance that impressed me with the performance. You know, I thought it wasn't going to be as strong, but it's a phenomenal woody spicy. As far as the projection is concerned, it did 2+ hours. I was almost reaching the 3-hour push. The sillage was giving me, you know, a good arm and a half length, and I have pretty long arms. I'm a 6'2", 6'2", so pretty tall dude. So I think that as far as sillage, gives you a really nice scent bubble all around. Again, really nice scent. As far as longevity, I got 8 to 10 hours. You know, I sprayed my clothes, so I was getting close to 10 hours with this fragrance. Really a nice performance out of Eight&Bob Egypt. Really impressive, and I was really pleased to have gotten my nose and try this for the past 3 months. It's been pleasantly surprising, this fragrance. So let's get into the bottom line, what I get from the scent and what this reminds me of. The lavender here is really beautiful. It's one of those barbershop kind of nuanced fragrances. It's going to give you a more mature, almost like an old school kind of vibe to it, but really modernized with some of the spices and the woods in here. So it's very appealing and extremely pleasant. So again, you're gonna get that barbershop feel nuance to it with the melange of citrus here are very fleeting. They're gonna dissipate very quickly, probably within the next 15-20 minutes from the time you spray the fragrance. And then it starts to really get into this heart that's almost a bit floral, but a spicy kind of floral that's again, very exotic. You get this really amazing trifecta accord here with the leather, the cardamom, and the nutmeg. That's a little bit creamy because you get some patchouli and sandalwood in the as you get closer to the dry down, and the leather here is just unbelievable. And one thing to show you guys, I showed you guys in the presentation, this is actually a leather patch that's braised. So it's a really nice touch. Obviously, I think they wanted to refer it to being that this is a leather kind of fragrance as well. So it's a woody, spicy, leathery kind of fragrance. So all in all, if you're searching for a fragrance with character, a fragrance that's going to give you a nice presence, but not overkill, not overwhelming, this fragrance here is definitely one to check out. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised and very happy with this acquisition. So what I get from the scent as far as what this smells like, what this fragrance reminds me of. So, okay, this basically is like having 3 fragrances into one. This reminds me a little bit, again, those fragrances that I'm gonna tell you about right now, it's not exactly what this smells like, but it's like having these 3 fragrances fused into one and then added some of the spicy florals and spices that you have in the wood, in the sandalwood that you get with this fragrance. But all in all, it's like if you had YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme vintage formulation, the darker, creamier, and more resinous composition, combined with Amouage's Beloved Men. And then the dry down, it's very similar to Calvin Klein's Obsession Vintage, the more longer lasting, creamier, and sweeter version of CK Obsession. Again, this does not smell like those fragrances. It's like if you combine those 3 fragrances and add some modern turns and twists to the fragrance, that's what you get with Egypt. So 3 words to summarize Egypt: it's vibrant, it's exotic, and it's spicy. So that's all I have for you guys today. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about Egypt. If you've gotten your noses on it, drop your comments down below. If you have tried anything from Eight&Bob, please share with me. I love to read your comments. In the meantime, guys, you know what to do. Share the passion. Keep on spraying and stay fragrant. I'll catch you guys later. Ciao.